What? Alright, this is gonna be harder than I thought.
Let me just start again. God damn it!
Is that the story?
Ollie does not look convinced in his story.
She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Okay.
Hello and welcome to episode number 3 of Calling Spots, a narrative telephone game. If you haven't checked out episodes 1 and 2, you can do that because they're pretty good. I like them. Also, if you're not sure what's going on, this was an idea that was created by the fine people over at Critical Role, so please go and check out their narrative telephone series because it's awesome. So for those of you that are unaware, here's how the game works. One of the members of the Wrestle Talk team has created a story set in the WWE universe. They've recorded their story to camera and sent it over to another member of the Wrestle Talk team. They get the chance to watch that story precisely one time, then they have to recount the story to the best of their ability using their big old memory brains. They then send their version of the story to the next person, who then recounts their version of the story after watching it once, to the next person, to the next person, to the next person, until everyone has been, and then we all hop in a call together, and we point fingers about who messed up the story. Spoilers, it was probably Laurie, even though this week, it's Laurie's story. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is episode number 3 of Calling Spots, a narrative telephone game, and like I said before, this time, it's Laurie's story.
A thick carpet of flies buzzes low over the surface of the Wyatt swamp, gently rocking in his chair, snakeskin boots tapping on the wooden planks of the jetty, sits Bray Wyatt. He clasps his hands across his chest, resting snugly beneath them a brown envelope. Surveying the scene, Bray looks to the muddy banks where King Corbin is egging on Shorty G to kick a hornet's nest. The angry swarm makes short work of the G-Man as Corbin runs off wailing into the undergrowth. And just offshore, Otis emerges from the water like Daniel Craig in that Bond film that time. He wades out to a pontoon, and as he rolls up onto the slats, the sunlight catches the moisture droplets on his airtight orange Speedo, and somewhere Mandy Rose grips the edge of her deck chair so hard she tears the fabric. But then, all of a sudden, the playful sploshings of the SmackDown roster are cut short by the low hum of an engine as Braun Strowman sails a rusted tugboat down the narrow channel. And for a moment, Braun's mind wanders back to a time when his parents would sing, "He'll be coming round the mountain when he comes," as a fledgling Strowman Express, 6 foot in frame, 6 years in age, began to pick up speed across the surface of the playground before sending all of the other kids skittering into the air, limbs akimbo like someone rage quitting a game of Kaplunk. But that memory was tinged with sadness because it was not a year later that Mr. and Mrs. Strowman were tragically killed in a train crash, and it was the day of their funeral, dressed in his best black vest, that Braun Strowman vowed to himself that he would become the thing he truly hated in order to combat the darkness in the world. That thing was a train. His mind then jumped for a second to the shabby shacks and outhouses of the Wyatt compound. He smiled wryly to himself as he remembers Eric Rowan in the pink pinafore he always wore, cooking up another pungent broth of fish heads, giblets, and alphabetti spaghetti. He remembered Luke Harper belting out a hearty rendition of "Take Me Home, Country Roads" on the way back from another ritual sacrifice. And he remembers tossing the old pig skin around the yard with Bray Wyatt himself as the rest of the pig turned on a spit over the fire. Braun, he thought to himself before shaking off the warm fuzzies, because it was time to put his train face on. It was time to face the man who had tricked him into thinking he was family, so that by the time he popped off the poop deck onto the jetty, he was raging, getting into the face of the waiting Bray Wyatt and roaring, "Braun!" But Bray, unflinching, holds out a brown envelope. And tentatively, as only a man with hands the size of newborn calves can be, Braun tore right through that envelope and quite a lot of the contents, but he did have time to make out the words, "Adoption Certificate." He looks up at Wyatt, who smiles broadly. "We can be a real family now, Braun." And the tears kept coming as this unlikely father and son duo embraced. "Braun, Braun, Braun." While out in the water, a gator turns lazily, Shorty G between its teeth.
Here we go, 3 minutes on the clock. Oh my god. Okay, so here we go. Bray Wyatt is sitting in a swamp with a he's in a rocking chair, he's in his swamp, and he's tapping his foot on the ground. He's wearing snakeskin boots, and then afterwards some bees come buzzing in or something, and on like the other end there is some sort of turmoil going on between Baron Corbin and Shorty G, and they're both I think wrestling or fighting some sort of murder's hornet. I don't know, but something happens where I think the murder hornets end up chasing off Baron Corbin, and so that goes away. And then Otis comes out of the water. He's wearing orange, I think, and then Mandy Rose, she comes in, and then she says something. I don't know what she says. She says something, and then that goes away. And then we go to Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman comes in a truck, and okay, so Braun Strowman comes in a truck, and he's thinking about his life, or oh god, he's thinking about something, okay? And okay, he's at his parents' funeral. Both his parents died. Braun Strowman's parents died, and oh, he's thinking about how they used to sing, "She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain." Is that the song they were singing? Okay, I'm pretty sure that's the song they were singing. And then, okay, he's thinking back about his life or something. And then Braun Strowman gets like upset at Bray Wyatt, and so then he goes to the swamp, and he goes to confront Bray Wyatt, and then Bray Wyatt pulls out the letter that he had, the brown envelope, and he gives it to him, and they're adopted, they're brothers or something, and 56 seconds. Okay, so then, someone starts crying. I forget who. Someone starts crying. I think it's either Braun or Bray. I think it's Braun. Braun starts crying. Okay, they cry, and then they're brothers in the end. I think I got it. Oh my god, that was really hard, okay? Like, really hard. Too much detail. Alright, there we go. And I did it with... pause. 30 seconds. 31 seconds left on the clock.
It's the swamp, the Wyatt family swamp, and on the veranda of the shack is Bray Wyatt, rocking back and forth, on his lap a brown envelope. He is wearing snakeskin boots, and as he sits rocking back and forth on his rocking chair, surrounded by flies and wasps, across the swamp is Baron Corbin and Shorty G having a fight, an encounter, and then a load of murder hornets come in and chase away King Corbin. Shorty G is the winner on that match. And then we cast our eyes over to the swamp, the water swamp, in between all of these people, spatially aware. Otis emerges from the swamp, glistening in an orange bathing suit, and Mandy Rose walks over to him, looks him in the eye, and says, "Something. What's that over there I hear?" It can only be the sound of Braun Strowman's monster truck. Braun! But wait, if you listen a little bit closer, he's singing something else. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Because as Braun is driving his truck into the swamp area, he is reminiscing about his life. He's casting his mind back to his parents and how his mother used to sing that to him as a child. And Braun gets out of the truck and he looks across the swamp at Bray Wyatt, and he's upset. He's upset with Bray Wyatt. He goes over to Bray and confronts him, and Bray just presents him the brown envelope. And Braun takes it. What is this brown envelope? And he opens it up. And in there are the results of their blood test, which somehow proves that they're adopted brothers. And then they both start crying. But probably actually Bray is the only one who starts crying.
It's the Wyatt family swamp, and out on a boat in the middle of this swamp sits Bray Wyatt in a rocking chair, just gently rocking back and forth, surveying the Wyatt family swamp that he obviously owns. His name is on the deed. But on his lap is this brown envelope, the contents of which we do not know yet. And he looks out across the swamp to sort of like a marsh area where he sees a fight happening between King Corbin and Shorty G, who are having a tussle even, inside or by the swamp. And then, before you know it, some murder hornets arrive and chase away Corbin so that Shorty G can stand tall victorious. He is your winner via... Let me take my headphones out. He is your winner via murder hornets. But Bray Wyatt can't really focus on that, because out in the distance, you can hear Braun! You can hear Braun coming over the sort of horizon, if you will. The horizon curvia, if you will. The horizon blaring out from his Braun monster truck. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be filling for time. And Braun is driving this monster truck full of piss and vinegar because he's so mad at Bray Wyatt, being that they're all feuding in that. And he thinks back to his childhood at home with his mother, who sang to him this song, She'll Be Coming. She used to sing that song to him to try and help him get to sleep. And he arrives at the swamp, he pulls up in his monster truck, he gets out, Braun! Gets onto the boat to face Bray Wyatt. I think they're on a boat. And he stares Bray Wyatt in the face, and he's like, I'm not finished with you, get these hands, and Bray Wyatt just looks at him and chuckles. He doesn't want to fight. Instead, he hands to him the brown envelope. And Braun looks at this in these hands, and he opens it up, and he pulls out papers. White pieces of paper. And he spots that Bray Wyatt is wearing leather skin boots. Oh, and Bray Wyatt saw Otis getting out of the swamp wearing an orange bathing suit. And Mandy Rose was also there. But enough of that, back to the papers. And he's reading these papers, and it turns out, can you believe it, that Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman are biological twins. Twins, Basil! They're twins! Can you believe it? I think that's the end of the story.
Bray Wyatt was surveying his Wyatt swamp, and he was on a rocking chair on a boat, just rocking back and forth nice and peacefully, and he was observing a fight that was taking place between King Corbin and Shorty G, and they were having a match in the swamp. But suddenly, from out of nowhere, these murder hornets show up, and they chase off one of them. They chase off Shorty G, which allows King Corbin to win. Maybe. And Bray is pleased with the goings-on in the swamp, and and then he spots Otis coming out of the swamp wearing an orange bathing suit, and also Mandy Rose is there. Take from that what you will. But as Bray Wyatt is surveying his swamp yet again, he hears a noise, this loud, monstrous roaring, and before you know it, it's Braun! He is coming into the swamp, but he's not walking, no, he's in a monster truck. And as he's coming in the monster truck, he's singing, she'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Coming round the mountain, she'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. And Braun was thinking about how his mother used to sing him this song when he was a child. I don't know what relevance that has to the story, but then he's there. He comes out in his monster truck, he pulls up, and he gets out into the swamp, and he gets onto the boat with Bray Wyatt. And Bray Wyatt is sitting there in his rocking chair, and Braun just goes, I'm not finished with you! You know, Braun things. And then Bray Wyatt who's been sitting this whole time just kind of giggling and laughing at him, not taking him seriously at all, he just stands up and he hands Braun this brown envelope. I know, really spooky stuff. And in that brown envelope, you see these white papers, and Braun is looking confused, and Bray Wyatt still laughing and smiling at him, and Braun looks down at the papers and he can see that they are in fact biological twins. Can you believe it? And then they lived happily ever after. I'm not filling for time, you're filling for time. They had a nice conversation afterwards, and they shared a cup of tea, and they reminisced about the childhood that they never had, because they were so far apart, and they're twins. It's really nice that they didn't eat each other in utero. And that's the story. I'm reliably informed. And that is the story of Bray Wyatt in his swamp. Right on time, perfect. First take, first try every time. Every tie?
Bray Wyatt's swamp, and Bray is sitting there in his rocking chair like Shao Kahn, surveying his murky, bloopy kingdom, and there's a match happening. It's Shorty G versus King Corbin, when suddenly, from outer nowhere, descends a swarm of murder hornets. Ooh, topical. The murder hornets attack Shorty G, which allow King Corbin to get the win. Oh, what a day. Baron Corbin celebrates, and then he leaves. He's gone. Then Bray Wyatt is still there, sitting in his rocking chair, having a little giggle, when he starts singing to himself. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. I'm here. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. I'm here. She'll be coming round. Here. She'll be coming round. Here. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Braun Strowman arrives. He is wearing a monster... No, he's not wearing a monster truck. He is driving a monster truck. Oh my goodness, through the swamp, over the water. There's a big fan behind it, and he's propelling through the muck, and Bray is giggling away. And Braun says, I'm not finished with you. And that's when Bray produces an envelope. Braun is shocked. He opens the envelope to reveal papers. On these papers it says that Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt are biological twins. Can you believe it? And then, how much longer? I've got a minute to go. Oh no. So, what happens next? Then we do a flash forward to the life that Bray and Braun would share together, tickling each other's boobs and combing each other's beards, singing little songs and like making lanterns for Halloween out of their old heads. And 30 seconds? God, no. Then they grow old together on dual rocking chairs with lots of little Brauns and Brays running. Does that mean they fucked? I guess it does. They had children together. Little Brays and Brauns running around, little fiends, and then they all died. There's the bell.
Hello and welcome to Calling Spots episode number 3, the watch-along part of it. So this one was Laurie's story, and Laurie was the one that messed up the story in episode number 2. And I was
rewarded.
And I'm assuming Laurie messed up the story in episode 3 as well, somehow? You probably got it wrong.
Hey, I thought we all decided it was Andy that ruined the story last time because he said it at Christmas when it wasn't supposed to be.
That twat.
Yeah, but... no, that was you. That was Laurie.
No, I swapped enchiladas.
Whoa!
Whoa! I swapped enchiladas for burritos. But Andy,
hi, Denise.
And
Thanks for joining
Yeah,
us.
hi, Denise. Yeah, you're also here.
this. I don't want to. I'm so scared to watch all of this.
It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. Right. Shall we, without any further ado, shall we watch where this started? Let's have a look at what Laurie's story is.
A thick carpet of flies buzzes low over the surface of the Wyatt swamp, gently rocking in his
Descriptive.
chair, snakeskin boots tapping on the wooden
Snakes.
planks of the
Actings.
jetty sits
Have you
Bray
also
Wyatt.
trained?
He clasps his hands across
I'm
his
not doing
chest,
enough of this.
resting snugly beneath them at the brown
Don't worry, I
envelope.
make up for it.
Surveying the scene, Bray looks to the muddy banks where King Corbin is egging
Yes?
on
Such a
Short
soothing
King
voice.
the Hornet's Nest. The
I said
unsuspecting
Baron Corbin,
short
not King
work of the
Corbin.
G-Man as Corbin runs off wailing into the
Oh, I say
undergrowth.
King Corbin.
And just
Yeah.
offshore, Otis emerges from the water like Daniel Craig in that Bond film that time. He wades out to a pontoon, and as he rolls up onto the slats, the sunlight catches the moisture droplets on his airtight.
Oh, this is steamy.
Somewhere Maggie bangs against the edge of her
Otis.
deck chair so hard she tears the fabric. Then, all of a
Oh my
sudden, the sploshings of the SmackDown roster are cut short by the low hum of an engine as Braun Strowman sails a rusted
I
tugboat
got
down
this.
the
A
narrow
rusted
channel.
tugboat?
For a moment, Braun's mind
Tugboat?
wanders.
Oh, it's
Saying
not
a
a
rusted
tugboat.
tugboat down a narrow
He'll be
channel sounds a little bit
coming
like a
round the
euphemism.
mountain when
But
he comes as a fledgling Strowman Express, 6 foot in frame, 6 years in age, began to pick up speed across the surface of the playground before sending all of the other kids skittering
They
into
all
the
have
air
flashbacks.
like someone
Not
rage
quite,
quitting a game of
No, this
Kaplunk.
didn't make it to
That
me.
made
Sorry,
me
old friend.
tinged
Lovely bit of
with
colour, though.
sadness because it was not a year later that
I already
Strowman
feel like I'm the one who
was
messed this
tragically
up.
killed in a train crash, and it was the day of their funeral, dressed in his best black vest.
What,
that
funeral?
Braun
A funeral? Who died?
What? Would become the thing he truly hated in order to combat the darkness in the world. That thing was a train. His mind then jumped for a second to the shabby shacks and outhouses of the Wyatt compound. He
parents
smiled
were killed in a
wryly to
train-
himself as
in a
he
train
remembers
crash.
Eric Rowan in the pink pinafore he always wore, cooking up another pungent broth of fish heads, giblets, and alphabeti spaghetti.
none of this.
You remember
Didn't get any of
Grandpa
that.
belting
No.
out a hearty rendition
hell,
of
how
Take Me
long's this,
Home
Laurie?
Country Roads on the way back from another ritual.
forgot
Another
it's
song,
train.
though.
He was tossing the old pigskin
Feature length.
around the yard with Bray Wyatt himself as the rest of the pig turned on a spit over the fire.
Oh, yeah, none of this.
Braun, he thought to himself before shaking off the warm fuzzies because it was time to put his train face on. It was time to face the man who had tricked him into thinking he was family, so that by the time he popped off the poop deck onto the jetty, he was raging, getting into the face of the waiting Bray Wyatt and roaring, "Braun!"
Braun!
I can
Braun,
poke him
get
in
his
the
hands.
face in his own name.
Unflinching, holds out a brown envelope.
Oh, mine was
Tentatively,
bright.
as
A
only
brawn
a hand
envelope.
the size of newborn calves can be, Braun tore right through that envelope
Hell,
and quite a lot of the contents, but he did have time to make out the words adoption certificate. He looks up at Wyatt, who smiles broadly. We can be a real family now, Braun.
Those tears, real tears.
And the
Oh, this
tears
is not in
kept
mine.
coming.
Method actor.
Likely father and son duo.
Luke
embrace.
refused to cry.
There's too many details.
Yeah,
I
there
didn't even
are.
know what a jetty was. I was
While in
like,
the
what's a
water,
jetty and a
the
poop
cat
deck?
turns laser like 40 G between its teeth.
I
Oh,
love
there's the
last
title of this
lines.
video. That's
That
the
is-
title of this video. What's a poop deck?
I love the last line. Just a
Okay.
quick sort of understated sign off. A Chad cable between his teeth.
Oh
Just
my
a
God.
lovely image. A lovely image.
A lovely story, Laurie.
Yes.
Just
Oh,
atmospheric, beautifully
Thank you.
told, beautifully written. Let's see how.
And really, really long.
Yes.
It was long.
I now as
Look, I
you
tried
were-
to edit it down, but I thought it was all essential information.
So, Laurie, in episode 2, you established that if we had time left on the clock, we had to fill until the time.
Oh yeah,
cut
yeah,
off,
yeah.
right?
Oh, that's
True.
Bray Wyatt's swamp, and Bray is sitting there in his rocking chair like Shao Kahn, surveying his murky, bloopy kingdom, and
It's got a swamp kingdom.
Shorty G versus King
That's someone out of
Corbin,
Mario, the
when
Bloopy
suddenly,
Kingdom.
from out of nowhere descends a swarm of murder hornets. Ooh, topical. The murder hornets attack Shorty G, which allow King
good.
Corbin to get the win. Oh, what
Corbin
a
wins?
day. Yeah.
It's not a match.
Baron
It wasn't a-
Corbin
they were just- they were
celebrates
messing
when he
about.
leaves.
No, we got the
He's
pin.
gone. Then Bray Wyatt is still there, sitting in his.
I was going for a sort of
chair,
My
having a
Girl
little
type scene.
giggle, when he starts singing to himself, "She'll be coming round the mountain."
no.
I She'll be coming round when she comes. I'm here. She'll be coming round. She'll be coming round. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Braun,
I love that remix.
Strowman
Nice addition.
arrives. He is
Wicca wicca.
wearing a monster. No, he's not wearing a monster truck. He is driving a monster truck.
He's got a neck.
Oh my goodness,
to
it's
a
a
monster
monster
truck?
truck over the
I was told.
water. He's there's
I
a
was
big
pink-eyed
fan
monster
behind
truck.
him.
This isn't bad. He did
Propelling
good.
through the muck, and Bray is giggling away. Too-hoo-hoo, tee-hee, too-hoo-hoo. And Braun says, "I'm not finished with you," and that's when
Catchphrase.
Bray produces.
Oh, poor old Otis.
Oh yeah, no
Yeah.
Otis.
Otis and
the
Mandy's
envelopes of
romance
your
was cut out of
papers.
this.
No place
On
in
these
this world.
papers it says that Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt are biological twins.
Seamless.
Oh, hello.
Close.
What a
How
reveal.
much longer? I've got a minute to go. Oh no. So what happens next? Then we do a flash forward to the life that Bray and Braun would share together, tickling each other's boobs and each other's beards.
Oh, Adam, this acting classes that you had have really paid off, mate. Improv.
Yeah, it was specifically improv, wasn't it, Adam?
30 seconds. God, no. Then they grow old together on dual rocking chairs.
All that
Lots
yes
of
and
little-
practice really
yeah.
playing.
Ray is running. Does that mean they
How's he
fucked?
gonna bring
I
this
guess it
round? How's he
does.
gonna tie it
They
all
had
up?
children together.
That's biological brothers.
Running around, little fiends, and then they all died.
Oh,
That is so mean.
Wow.
Bleak.
There's the bell.
Radar.
They all
Ding, ding,
died.
ding.
Wow.
Now let's
Wow.
That was something.
Let's be fair. I thought I did really well. And
Now-
Denise will back me.
Your made up story has them as biological brothers, and then they have children together, and then all the children die. I'm assuming through birth defect, but like
Oh, wow. Damn, man. No, the biological brothers, that was not my little imagination. That was
Oh,
the
wasn't
defendant.
mine either.
Yours, Ollie.
who as
that
in
in your-
biological
no.
Is it?
Well, we'll watch it back. We'll watch it
Oh,
back.
it's probably you,
Oh
Luke.
shit, was it me?
Oh, no.
Definitely
guys.
not me. All right, definitely not me.
I'm sure
Bollocks.
Denise got everything right, and
Yeah.
Luke
No,
cocked
I
this up
didn't,
royally.
I didn't even deliver the story properly. How you guys are all like doing it story wise. I did like a terrible job.
You just gave us the
Okay,
bullet
oh.
points. Like, he went here, he said this thing happened.
That's fine.
So
Shit.
I remembered Otis and Mandy and the snakeskin boots. In like the last 30 seconds, I was just like,
Yeah,
oh wait,
that's right.
also Otis was there.
Essentially.
It was really disorientating when Luke was just like, and he comes up and he's got this envelope. Oh, and also Otis is there, by the way, beforehand, and he's wearing orange or something. I was like, wait, where does that go in the story? Ah, you're confusing me. Oh god, it was proper panic mode.
So wait, what was the
Yeah.
funeral stuff?
Oh, so
Yeah.
the funeral was. There's a flashback to when he's younger, and his parents used to call him the monster among children.
Okay.
And he says that memory was tinged with sadness, though, because it was not a year later that Mr. and Mrs. Strowman were killed in a tragic train crash. And that's when Braun knew that he would have to become the thing he hated in order to combat the darkness in the world. That thing
So
was a
what-
train.
I didn't
train.
get that from Pete. Pete, did you get that from Luke?
No.
Luke, did you get that from Ollie?
I did not.
Ask
Ollie?
me.
Did you get
No,
that
I didn't get
Denise?
it from Denise.
Whoa, Denise!
That's a really important
Sorry,
detail.
I'm
That like his
sorry.
family has passed away, and that's why he was. This
I-
explains why he was sucked into the Wyatt family
I
in the beginning. This
mentioned
explains
a
why he
funeral,
cries at
though.
the end when he becomes a real
Oh,
family again.
hang on.
I
Denise said she mentioned
the
a funeral.
Okay, I remember mentioning a
Amateurs.
funeral. I just don't remember what I said about the funeral.
There was a funeral.
Well, in
Who
Adam's
was at
one,
it?
it was,
Who
alone,
was
it was,
for?
it was
Dunno.
everyone's funeral.
I was going to say, Adam, the funeral made it all the way to Adam's. In fairness,
In
in
a
a
grand
roundabout way.
sense, yes.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, sort of, yeah.
He got the sweeping air of death I was going for.
It was such a good story, Laurie.
Great
And
story, Laurie.
Yeah.
just told through
That-
a
that-
real succession of bad people.
Yeah, no, it was
It came out exactly how I hoped.
no hoverboards this time, no.
Oh no.
Starting as
No.
a Rembrandt and ending up as a crayon kind of drawing of a load of dead kids. Sorry about that, everybody.
Well, you know, win some, lose some. Dead kids.
Yeah,
Is what it
all
is. Anyway, thank you for watching.
Oh,
this one.
that
We're
can't be
done.
that can't be how
We're
it
done.
ends.
Watch
the
the
closing
full
thought.
bonus watch along on Patreon where we watch everyone's things. That's it. We're done.
Oh no.
The ending not with a bang, but with a funeral.
So that was episode number 3 of Calling Spots, a narrative telephone game. If you want to see us react to everybody's stories in the extended full watch-along cut, then make sure to head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/WrestleTalk, and you can find the whole thing over there. We react to everybody's stories, not just the first and the last. You can pledge at any dollar tier whatsoever, and you can get access to that video there. And if you liked this one, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all the basic YouTube things that make us really happy and release that sweet dose of serotonin. Do all those things and press the videos that are on the screen now to catch up with the latest partsFUNknown things, and the other stuff that I said. Subscribe, enable notifications, that stuff. This was Calling Spots, a narrative telephone game, episode number 3. Tune in for episode 4 next week. See ya. Bye.